Okay, so I want you to tell me about like top three issue that you see, let's say in the couples that you do therapy with. Like, what is your top three? Like,
Communication,
mhm.
sexuality.
So
Uh,
communication. So
yeah.
elaborate on the communication, sexuality. What was the third one?
The third one is a result of both of them, unhappiness.
And happiness. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you elaborate on each of them? Let's say
Well,
start with
yes.
communication.
I
Like,
mean,
what about the communication?
communication is an art. It's not
Yes.
just, how we talk to each other. It's,
Yes.
it's an art. It's an art of how we are able to listen to each other,
Mm,
how we are able to, speak, feel free and
mm,
feel confident to talk
mm.
about our wants, our desires, our needs, everything that's happening to us, feeling safe
Right.
that, we're not going
Feeling
to
safe,
be,
so
yeah,
important. You're
yeah.
touching like very, very hardcore, like the
Thank
root
you.
of it. Yes.
Thank you. How we can feel safe to talk. And by that, I mean how I can feel confident that I'm not going to be judged and blamed by my partner when I
Mm,
speak freely about something, anything. It
mm,
doesn't just have to be sexuality, you
mm,
know.
mm,
So, and the one of the core part of communication that I have seen not happening is harmonious communication. In other words, one of the first questions that usually comes up during initial part of therapy, couples therapy, is, do you want to be right or do you want to be connected?
connected.
Yeah, majority of the time the conversation is that I'm right,
Mm-hmm.
he's wrong, or I'm right, she's wrong.
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
of the time
yeah.
I'm right, she's wrong, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
have had,
Ego.
yeah, I have had exactly couples
Mm.
coming in that, their husband says, there is nothing wrong with me. I came here because my wife or my girlfriend wants me to be here.
Oh,
So
wow.
fix her.
Oh, I see. You're right
Yeah,
from there. Okay, I see. I
yeah,
see. Okay.
you know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So they already, that's a close communication. They, couple, they need to see how each one of them, even if one of them is silent, how
Hmm.
they are contributing to each other's communication, right?
So true.
You know,
So true. So
yeah.
true.
And then, for
Hmm.
example, I remember a couple came in and they said that my husband is so judgmental of me. And I said, well, how did you teach him to be that way with you? And she was blown away,
Oh, wow.
you know,
Okay.
because submissiveness is a form of communication. If a woman
Hmm.
stays submissive and doesn't, advocate for herself, doesn't know how to be assertive, not aggressive, but assertive,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So that means that she's allowing the aggression to come to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to tell you this. I want to set an example. Um, for example, let's say I had a partner and I wasn't happy with how involved on a weekly basis we were involved in our sexual relationship. So like I bring him to the table and I'll like hold his hand and I will say, you know what? Like you're so amazing and I love you. And the only reason I'm opening this subject
Why
because
do you
I
have to
want
give him leverage first?
leverage first. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I did and then correct me. I want to hear how should I correct myself. And I'm like, I just want to make our sexual life better. I want to practice how to get
No,
to know you. No?
you
Tell me.
don't want to make you don't want to make our sexual life better because that means you want to control his sexuality too.
Oh, okay.
How
Tell me. I
about
cannot.
how about if you want to make your sexual life better? What
Mine.
belongs to you? I want to
It's
make
true.
my sexual life better.
Hmm.
And this is what I'm missing. I'm missing A, I'm missing B. I like
Hmm.
more of a C. I don't like D. I want
Hmm.
E and F to connect.
Hmm.
Talk about yourself. See, that's where we
Hmm.
go wrong because
I'm talking about we. No,
I'm
I'm assuming,
talking
like,
about
I
we.
feel like I want to make him comfortable.
Yeah, so yeah, so So why do you need to
Uh-huh.
make him, if he's not comfortable or he's comfortable, that's on him, not
Uh-huh.
on you. You
I
know,
see.
these are
Yeah.
all very,
Yeah,
very
so
tiny
true.
microscopic, points that
Hmm.
makes a huge difference in
So I
communication.
like it like this. I want it like
Yes,
this. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Ah,
Say,
okay.
if I want to introduce, the four components of you,
Mm,
if I let me start by myself. If I
okay.
want to start with four components of me that I talk about me,
Okay.
that will be me, myself, Mitra, and I.
Ah, okay. I like that. I
How
like
do you
that.
bring
Okay.
that into your life? How do you bring that into your communication? You, yourself, Helen, and you.
Uh-huh.
How do you do that? Say me, myself, Mitra, and
Me,
I.
myself, and Helen and I.
Yes,
Yeah.
me, myself, Helen, and I.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. So
Hmm.
each part of you is desiring something,
Hmm.
right?
I
Each
see.
part of
Yeah.
you is a representative of your true self, your authentic,
Hmm.
loving true self.
Hmm. Okay, right from get-go, I have a question. So when you meet like let's say when I meet a new person, do I talk about it like from the first week or get-go, or should I let it see like how it's gonna play out?
Let it go, see how it's been. Enjoy your time. Why do you have to get into deep stuff?
You know,
So does that mean that is that mean that
I love it. Enjoy.
you're going into a relationship with agenda?
No, I just want to put it in the table from the first day. Okay, like one time sex is not enough for me. Okay, if you think you're gonna have one time sex, it's not gonna go anywhere.
So let's see. Is your conversation immediately gets to sex stuff right at the first meeting?
It depends. It depends. So you know how I told you, finally I freed myself. No, not right away. If someone comes into my life that I want him actually come to my life, and then we sit and talk about what do you want in your life? What are you looking for? In those kind of conversation, the top subject of sex, I kind of sometimes bring it to the table. What do you think
Right,
about it?
right. Yeah, if it comes up, it comes up, right? But
Uh-huh.
also, I mean, if I don't know a person and I just met a
Oh
person,
yeah, yeah.
I won't talk to that person about my sexuality
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
it's
No,
not
this
that.
is someone who wants to get to know me, or I want to
Okay,
get to
all
know
right, yeah,
them to
yeah,
move into the relationship.
right. Well, you know, what what what's feasible, what realistically can work is, how much do you know the person that's talking to you at the moment about your sexuality? Because how much, ability, capability that individual and awareness and acceptance of your true self that individual
Mm,
possess to be able to handle who you are as a sexual
mm,
being, and how
mm.
much do they know about their own sexual being,
I see.
so I
I
guess
see.
one way that you can check that out is before you give any information out about yourself is tell them, well, I'm interested to know about you as a sexual being first. Tell me who you are as a sexual being.
Bingo! Taking a note down. I was doing it all wrong. I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my
See,
God.
see, because
Oh my
because
God.
you
Okay.
probably, and I don't mean to be this to be a therapy session, my apology, but
No,
earlier
please
earlier
do.
you
Like
said,
this is actually very good because people can relate to us.
yeah, earlier you said you didn't want to go back to your parents to show them that you're defective. So you're trying to show you're not defective at all the time. You're not you're beautiful person that you are, with or without this disclosure about your sexuality. You're amazing.
I
Look
love
what you're
that.
doing. Look how far along you have
Uh-huh.
come. You don't
Uh,
need to prove this to anybody.
uh-huh.
So if anybody's
Interesting.
questioning you first, let's see, is this person capable of handling my information or not?
Mm.
Or who are
Mm.
you to ask me this
Wow, so
question?
powerful. I like that. Yeah, yeah, I see that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're already beautiful. You don't need to, I mean, you don't need to explain yourself so that somebody likes you or
I see. I see.
Why? And that's
Mm.
what happens. See, because and that's not, just unique to you or to me or
Mm.
to just a few. Because of our upbringing, that girls, there is something wrong to be a girl. Girls are shameful to have, right? Girl automatically go to a place of, I need to
Explaining
prove
myself.
myself. I need to explain myself. I mean, look how much girls spend time on themselves to be prettier,
Yeah.
better,
True, true,
you know,
true. Because
men,
we are judged based on how we look like.
exactly
Yeah.
how we look like, how we think, what we want, everything
I
about our
was so
being.
fixated on looking perfect all the time myself
Yeah, yeah,
because of my upbringing, because
uh-huh,
of my family, how they
yeah,
treat beauty, of
yeah,
absolutely has an
yeah,
effect on how I
yeah,
feel as a person today
yeah,
or how
yeah.
I felt throughout all these years, for sure.
Yes, so when a person asks us a question, we automatically go to our default place, which
Mm,
is, I need to defend myself, I need to explain myself, I need to represent myself as perfect, I need to be good so that this person would like me. Well, who is this person that I want him to, or her to like me? What's in it for me if this person likes me or not?
I think this was a very amazing, good therapy session for me. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this again. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So I'm like, I got myself.
Well, simply, and I have had girls asking me this, I'm going to a party tonight. I don't know what to do so he can only look at me. Okay, if you need to wear a dress or if you need to look in a certain way to be that amazing sexual being at that moment for him so that this guy doesn't take his eyes away from you, my dear, this person is not for you.
Mm,
That's completely the opposite. This person is not for you.
mm.
I mean, I'm not against
Yeah,
beauty. I'm not
yeah,
against, looking good. I'm not
yeah,
against any of that. God knows,
yeah.
I'm so mindful of my look. I'm
Correct.
so mindful of,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
but
yeah.
in a healthy way and all,
Yes.
but if a person wants to know a woman, if a man
Mm,
wants to know a woman, right? Yes,
yes.
the look is important. Yes,
Correct.
how the person dresses up is important, but ultimately is the mentality that
Correct.
connects to people.
Correct. Well,
That's
I
what.
want the look. I want the look to be
Yeah,
compatible.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, the look is
like if
good.
a guy like
Yeah,
this much shorter than me, I just can't be attracted to that
yeah,
guy, right?
yeah.
So I want the look
Those
to be
are,
compatible, then, but it's not going to be about the look. I want to have physical attraction, but
yeah,
then it's like here and
yeah,
here, like
yeah,
they need to connect for
yeah.
sure.
So see,
Yes.
these are all component of communication.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to really look at that. When we talk about communication, communication is verbal and nonverbal,
Mm,
right? So the most important part of communication is nonverbal. It's
mm,
not verbal. People think that when they're polite together, they're lovey-dovey together. No, it's the body language that makes the most impact.
mm,
It's the subconscious connection that makes the most impact here.
mm.
It's
Give me
not.
some examples.
Well, have you ever walked into a crowd of people and you immediately connect to somebody, but you,
Ah,
you just walk away from somebody else?
walk away from somebody else
Yeah,
and connect to
I mean,
someone
there are
else.
so many people in the room, right?
Uh-huh.
Suddenly you feel comfortable standing next to one person, but
Uh-huh.
you just don't care for some other people that they
Oh,
are
I
in the
see.
room.
You're just attracted to that one
You just
person.
attract.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
subconscious communication.
Ah, I see, I see, I see, I see. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Something about that. Look at it like a net.
Mm,
Imagine a net of communication in the room. So many dots are connected with laser beams together,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Suddenly you're attracted to one laser beam and one dot. You just go there,
Mm, mm.
right?
Yeah. Usually that
So,
happens to me.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
subconscious
that
communication.
guy. I like
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah, that's an example of subconscious communication,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So, non-verbal, how we touch each other, how
mm-hmm.
we look at each other,
Yes.
tone of voice,
Yes.
choice of words,
Yes.
right? The way we touch each other, right? The way we sit next to each other,
Mm,
the way
mm,
we hand each other a glass of water or a drink
mm.
or
Yeah.
something to eat,
Yes.
the way we just so kindly, lovingly
Correct.
approach each other, right? Or the opposite. So those nonverbal approaches are nonverbal communication, and those are
Mm,
the ones that they are mostly inviting,
mm,
attracting,
mm.
connecting. That's imagine in bed, a husband and wife, right? They just one rolls over to one side, the other one rolls over to
Yeah.
one side, and
Yeah.
they say we love each other, but we can't stand each other,
No. You said like, no, I don't do good with that. No. Yeah. No.
right?
So
Or
like there's one thing with me for I want to set an example and then you can do your therapy on me is like when I'm in a relationship with someone and it's like after like 8 months or 9 months or a year, I feel like the physical attraction gets less. I can't stand that relationship. I feel like something is missing. Something is
absolutely,
missing. If I
absolutely.
cannot maintain my physical attraction, like I feel like everything starts from there. I cannot expand on anything else. So either I need to fix that in order to move forward in my relationship. And if it's not fixable, I just cannot move forward in my relationship.
And you're not alone with that. Join the many, many millions of couples like that.
Mm,
Have you seen, in our community, for example, people arrange to get married. They go
mm,
through all that, royalty, wedding celebrations.
yeah.
They spend all that money. They plan for all that time. They plan 2 years to celebrate a wedding, and it takes like 2 months,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they get divorced.
Yeah.
Have you had those?
Yeah, I literally like I had a friend that recently went through such a thing. It wasn't two
Mhm.
months, it was a couple of months, and it would just vanished.
They vanished, right?
Yeah.
Or do you see that we have seen that many couples, that suddenly after 6 months they get divorced, or they go through breakup,
Mm.
or so what happens?
What happens?
What
What
happens
happens?
is, yeah, here's what happens. When we meet with somebody, and there are some of us that we have this instant attraction towards each other. We have that instant chemistry towards each other.
Uh-huh.
And that's beautiful. That's one way that people connect,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Physical attraction is absolutely, a must to have in a relationship,
Uh-huh.
whether that's a marriage or just wanting to connect and just be boyfriend girlfriend together, right? So that's given. But what happens is, if it is only physical attraction or chemistry and no mental connection, no mental comparability, physical attraction after 2 months, 3 months, the most 6 months will go away. It's like this. You buy a necklace,
Mm.
right? Okay. You wear it a couple of times, 3 times, 4 times. People see it the fifth time. You don't care for it anymore.
Mm.
You have it,
Mm.
but it's not like the very beginning when you bought it, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
we become like possessions for each other.
Mm.
We don't become that intimate partner. So there
Mm.
is a difference between intimacy. Now we're getting into sexuality, right? So there
Mhm.
is a difference between intimacy, chemistry, right? Physical attraction. So if
Okay.
two people are able, people think that intimacy comes first. No,
No?
intimacy comes later, right? Uh, if people during the initial stages of chemistry are not able to build the chemistry, the intimacy together, then they have nothing to connect with each other.
Okay.
It's intimacy that brings people together.
Together.
And
Mm.
intimacy is not something you plan for. You don't
Yes.
create, it's totally wrong to say, I'm creating an intimate environment, like going to a trip and, rent the honeymoon suite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I think I understand you. One time in my life, I had this relationship that, let's say, if we were together for 4 years, we never had to talk about it, about our sexuality, because it, like, we created the intimacy. We started with the chemistry, and then it lasted for like years and years. So
yes,
I get what
yeah,
you're saying.
yes. So intimacy is something, is like the air that we breathe.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
needs to flow. It
Mm.
needs to exist, right? And how do you create that intimacy together? By feeling safe, by trust, by
Mm.
ability to feel you can be yourself,
Mm.
right?
Wow, love it. Okay.
If you can't be yourself and constantly you have to be on the mission to
Be
keep
someone
yourself
else.
in the relationship,
Yeah.
to keep the relationship,
Mm.
that's a struggle, and a struggle kills intimacy.
Love it. Okay. Okay.
Intimacy is
Mm.
like the
I
air
get
we breathe. You need to smell it all the time, like an everlasting perfume.
it. Mm-hmm.
You cannot create intimacy. You can create intimate moments,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It's like, when people tell me, well, what is foreplay? What is afterplay? What's the point of foreplay? What's the point of afterplay? And then when we discuss it and they say, well, how long your foreplay takes? Well, like 2 minutes before sex, before intercourse. Like, okay, 5 minutes. You say, oh my God, foreplay can start a week before you have sex.
Mm.
Foreplay is like intimacy. It needs to be in the air.
Mm.
It's not something that you
Mm.
suddenly
Mm.
go and,
I see.
make it happen just because one is aroused and goes and then to the wife and say,
Mm.
hey, I'm aroused. I want to have sex.
Mm.
It doesn't mean
Mm.
that's foreplay.
I see. I
Kissing
see.
before having intercourse is not per se foreplay. Foreplay is just showing affection, showing love way in advance before having sex. And afterplay is not that, okay, I got it, you got it, let's just roll
Yeah.
over, grab
The
cell
hugs,
phone.
the cuddle, like the
Yeah,
beautiful words
right,
afterward, still
right,
feeling safe. So, in order for you to
right.
want it even the
Yeah,
next time, is
yeah.
definitely
People
very
think
important
that
component.
orgasm
Yeah.
is the end of having sex. No,
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 the
no.
cuddle after the sex is the
And
last
then
part
talk
of it.
about each other, talk about what they mean to each other,
Yeah.
talk about how I mean, there's so much to talk about,
So
I can't
true.
really list it, but, and that's the thing, when we don't have sexual education,
Correct.
when we don't know what is sexuality really
Mm-hmm.
means. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said that, we talked about, it's about, being able to talk about our, uh, pleasure,
Correct.
intimacy, talk about desire, beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
attitudes, values. If we cannot talk about those with each other, and even if they are different, and it's okay to be different, we cannot create intimacy.
Mm-hmm.